Hello all of you beautiful little demons, Jules here for WhatCulture.com, back again with another episode of the awesomely named and authorly hosted Choose Your Own Adventure, the weekly medieval themed format where I, the crown Jules of WhatCulture.com, take a list chosen by you, yes, you the person who is, yes, I have reorganised my office to give myself a bit more space. I was looking back at the original videos and being like, ooh, it is encroaching, I'm in a coffin of content, and as much as that is how I want to die, I don't want it to happen just yet. Yes, you get to decide what list I dole out to you each and every week, and this week we have none other to thank than, well, me actually, because of a mix-up in scripts and because of people going on holiday. I had to drag one from the archives in order to actually get something out for you lovely people here, so I'm the person that we need to thank. Thank you, Dan. Thank me harder.
Thank you.
That's too much. For my suggestion of 8 video game villains we love to hate. Because the main point of villains in video games is to provide the player with motivation for their actions. The villains are designed to be hated, so no matter what the player is trying to do, their main objective will usually be to take down the bad guy or get them to stop them from doing their nefarious things. But sometimes a villain comes along that is just too hard to dislike, and it's not because they're sympathetic or because their goals make more sense than the main characters, it's just because they're too damn charming. So with this in mind, I'm Jules, this is WhatCulture.com, and these are 8 truly evil video game villains that everybody loves. And you know the drill by now, say hi to me here in the live chat. Actually, it's over there, isn't it? Say hi to me in the live chat over here, and pop your suggestions for next week's episode down in the comments section below. But with that in mind, let's get on with the list, shall we? Ooh. Number 8, Mr. House, Fallout New Vegas. Now, it's no secret that the Fallout series isn't shy of a great villain or 12. I mean, you've got the walking horror with a bachelor's degree and murdering the out of you known as Frank Horrigan, and of course you've got the sleep paralysis on toast in the form of the Master, who quite possibly has the best and worst voice or voices in a video game ever. Yet in my sarsaparilla-filled eye, there is only one true champion of villainy, and that is the great Mr. House. Here is a man with money and power who's become corrupted fully by both. House represents the ultimate capitalist, a man who wants to run his city his own way and will shove a fat man down the throat of anyone who dares challenge him. Even if you try to justify that he's the best choice when compared to an inefficient and belligerent NCR or the Legion, who lest we not forget are actual slavers, House is no angel. He will exploit those under his roof, you can make damn sure of it. However, he's so bloody charming, and let's not forget as well that he has a full army of Securitrons, which is, last time I checked, pretty bloody cool, so yeah, it's hard not to fall under his spell. I mean, sure, he'll probably end up stabbing you in the back, but the blade won't be made of metal and the handle won't be made of fine Scandinavian wood. No, my friend. It will be of excess of drugs and alcohols and life in the fullest on the strip. That'll be how he gets you. And you know what? I'm kind of in for it. Number 7, Albert Wesker, Resident Evil. So here he is, Mr. Cool in a trench coat, the pair of sunglasses with legs, the mobile Brill Cream advert Albert Wesker, a true icon of the Resident Evil series. From his shocking betrayal in the first game, spoilers? I mean, this is on you if you've not played it by now, to his ridiculous appearances in the later titles, Wesker is the textbook definition of a good recurring villain. Now, his charm stems from his over-the-top school of villainy. He always looks serious about what he's doing, whether it's performing some ridiculous stunts without breaking a sweat or delivering a grand speech about how great of a plan he has, and you know what? That's what makes the absurdity of his actions even better. Plus, let's not forget that his main goal is to wipe out all of humanity using the T-virus, and that just expresses how little far ahead that he's actually looked in his grand master plan. He's gone, ha, I will take over the world by killing the world. Now I rule the world that I've just killed. Oh no, I'm a king of shit. The seriousness of Wesker's character is a double-edged sword, though. It either makes people admire him for being a cold and calculated badass, or laugh at him for playing the part of a cartoonishly evil guy with a perfectly straight face. However, you know what? Whether people venerate him or absolutely admire him, they're both united in one common facet. They absolutely love him because they know deep down that the Resident Evil series would not be where it is without him. He's a big deal. And he's definitely coming back. Come on, we all know it. We all know it. Number 6, SEPHIROTH, Final Fantasy VII. There is no villain in Final Fantasy that is more iconic than SEPHIROTH. Well, yes, I mean, Kefka would like a word with you by saying that, but at the same time, everyone remembers their first bad boy experience, and for most people, it was Sephiroth. The one-winged angel has been adored by fans of the series since his first appearance in Final Fantasy VII. People really love his character, despite the fact that he is literally responsible for killing other favourite characters, including the shish-kebabbed Aerith. Spoilers? To be honest, I'm not entirely sure at this point, because first, it is on you for not playing the game in this amount of time, but also, in the remake, she's still alive. Does that mean that that's the spoiler? Oh god, my brain. Well, perhaps it's not despite his evil deeds, but because of them that Sephiroth is so beloved. The man is just a true edgelord, and you know what? That spoke to us when we were young. The flames, the attitude, the absolutely monstrous sword. This was very, very cool back in the day, and even if you thought he looked stupid, Seppi was quick to silence his critics by showcasing his raw power in early gameplay segments. He lived rent-free in your mind thanks to those early hours of gameplay, and after turning Aerith into a pincushion, well, he kind of bought the surrounding land. Number 5. The Joker, Batman Arkham Asylum. Whether it's the comics, movies, or video games, the Joker is always a fan favourite in the DC universe. The Batman Arkham series' version of the iconic villain is no different, and some might even argue that he's the best depiction out there. Well, I'll tell you what it's not going to be. It's not going to be the Joker from Dark Tomorrow. If you played that game, jeepers creepers. All he does is he runs up a flight of stairs, you beat up his goons, and he just goes, fair cop, you got me. That's not the Joker, that's a fucking joke! Back on track though, the love for AA's version of the Joker is in no small part due to the outstanding performance of Mark Hamill as the infamous clown. His voice acting takes the part of Joker's personality that makes him resonate with people and brings them to a whole new level of excellence. His charm, wits, and ability to make light of even the most disturbing situations really shine throughout all of the Arkham games, as Mark Hamill makes the Joker sound as though he is genuinely having the time of his life terrorizing people and causing general mayhem. It is really, really hard not to be entertained by the Joker's antics, and he definitely puts the laughter in manslaughter. Number 4. VAAS, Far Cry 3. Now, over the years, Ubisoft has made it their goal to make Far Cry villains the most memorable and fascinating characters in their titles. Each antagonist has a different reason for why they're better than all the rest of the cast combined, but the one who started this whole trend is definitely VAAS from Far Cry 3. Despite being only a secondary antagonist, anyone who's actually played Far Cry 3 will tell you that VAAS is hands down the best part of the game. His psychotic yet oddly philosophical mindset makes him an incredibly fun character to listen to as you run for your life or try your best to survive against his personal army of pirates. I mean, he's not a good person by any stretch of the imagination, but he's so damn enthralling and entertaining that you'll be sitting there as he delivers that iconic insanity speech and you'll be going, yes, nice one, mate, just as he pushes you off of that cliff and you're like, bravo! But the funny thing is that VAAS wasn't even supposed to be in Far Cry 3. He was just a generic pirate until his actor Michael Mando auditioned for the role and inspired the developers to rewrite the character. I mean, just imagine Far Cry 3 without VAAS. No thank you. Number 3. GLADOS, Portal. Now, we can't talk about iconic and beloved villains without everyone's favourite artificial sadist. Now, GLADOS is one of the most recognised characters in gaming, and for very good bloody reason. Her genocidal tendencies only accentuate her sassy attitude and talent for destroying your self-esteem with passive-aggressive remarks. As far as evil deeds go, killing an entire lab full of scientists with neurotoxins is definitely up there. Throw in GLaDOS' fascination and dangerous human experimentation, and you get a pretty irredeemable villain. But again, and it pains me to say this because it is just a horrible thing that she's done, that's what makes her so entertaining. Yes, she keeps trying to kill you and sees you as nothing more than a meat bag on legs, but her condescending attitude is what makes her so great. It makes solving all the puzzles in the game difficult, as she will keep making fun of you every single step of the way, always making you curious to find out how she's going to top the ruthlessness of her previous insult. And on top of that, GLaDOS is a pretty sympathetic villain once you dig deeper into her backstory, because she was turned against her will into this malevolent AI. So yeah, you can feel bad for her, even though she spends most of her time trying to make you feel bad about yourself. Number 2, Handsome Jack, Borderlands. So Handsome Jack is a true sociopath who loves to manipulate people, to use them for his own benefit, and then throws them away like they're yesterday's jam when they're no longer of use to him. However, if you ask any of Borderlands' fans what they think of him, they will usually tell you that he's a really awesome guy. And yes, I know the Borderlands fan base is a little bit weird, but you know what? They're actually right here. Just maybe don't give them any sharp objects because they will try to poke you in the eyes with them. Feral. This is because, for all of his lying and cheating and his numerous attempts to kill you and your friends, the man's charismatic persona is just too irresistible. Whether he insults you, taunts you, or straight up threatens you, he always does so with a flair of a true showman. His dialogue in the games, especially in Borderlands 2, is absolutely astounding, which is pretty impressive considering he's a major antagonist and tags along with your crew for the majority of game time, and he never drops the quality of his quips even by a small margin. There is a reason why Jack is considered to be one of the greatest video game villains ever, and no, it's not because he tried to enslave his daughter and turn her into a satellite system. And number 1, Senator Armstrong, Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. Senator Armstrong has all of the qualities of a true maniacal villain. He's a crooked politician, a warmonger, and a crazy lunatic who dreams of a world where murder is legal and only the strongest may survive. And yet, even though you most definitely would not like to live in Armstrong's utopia, he's so goddamn charismatic that you could definitely see yourself going like, whoa, hey, where did that come from? Now, ridiculousness is a pretty common trait amongst Metal Gear characters, but Senator Armstrong pushes his own brand of crazy to the bloody extreme. He's a man of fascinating contradictions. He dresses like a dapper politician, yet he's built like a truck on steroids. He can absolutely destroy a former Special Forces agent, yet his explanation for it is that he used to play college ball. Plus, the man knows how to deliver a brilliant speech, omelette and eggs included. But if this still doesn't convince you of his greatness, Armstrong also seems to really care about his compatriots. When the player pretends to agree with him, his first instinct is to dust off the beaten up cyborg and welcome him with open arms. Now that is the attitude that wins elections, my friend. So what if he wants to destroy half the world? Look at that smile. What a cheeky chap. And there we go, my friends. Those were 8 truly evil video game villains that everyone loves. I hope you enjoyed that, and please let me know what you thought about it down in the comment section below, as well as your suggestions for next week's episode as well. As always, I've been Jules. You can go follow me over on the social medias at RetroJ, but the O is a 0 on Instagram and Twitter, and I am, let me get this right, I'm Egg Daddy Jules on TikTok. I've done 2 videos over there. I am smashing it out, brother. And you can go follow Dan over here on his socials as well. But before I go, I just want to say one thing. Even though we spoke today about cartoonishly over-the-top and very, very evil villains, let's balance that out by doing something good for ourselves and for each other as well, by treating ourselves with that love and respect that we deserve as human beings, all right? I want you to go out there with love in your heart, not just for yourself, but for your neighbor as well, because it's building bridges instead of burning them that are going to see us survive this crazy thing called society, all right? Okay, so remember, love for yourself, love for your neighbor. As always, I've been Jules, you have been awesome, never forget that, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.